So today, we're not just going to talk about music. We're going to explore a really powerful philosophy for life. And we're going to do it through the lens of one of the most spontaneous and honest art forms out there, jazz.
Okay, so I want you to picture this. You're in a dimly lit jazz club. The air's kind of thick with anticipation, you can feel that energy, but it's quiet. And up on stage, there's just a single pianist sitting at their instrument, caught in this one little island of light. Now look a little closer. What's on the music stand? Nothing. It's blank. There's no sheet music, no map, no guide, no pre-written path that's going to guarantee a perfect performance. All there is the beginning. And that is the essential question, isn't it? Not just for the musician, but for every single one of us. When you don't have a script and the next step isn't guaranteed, how do you find it in you to just play that first note? All right, so let's dive into that first, and let's be honest, most difficult step, the simple act of starting. So you can just imagine the musician's fingers kind of hovering over the keys. And in that quiet moment, you can almost hear that internal debate going on, that little flicker of doubt we all feel before we do something creative. Which note is the right one? How do I make sure this starts off perfectly? But here's the secret. It doesn't matter. See, the musician doesn't come to the stage with a perfect plan. They bring something way more valuable than that. They bring the courage to simply try. That first note isn't some act of genius, it's an act of profound bravery. Okay, so the first note is played, it's out there. Now let's see how this one sound builds into something way bigger than a solo performance. It actually becomes a conversation. You know, we have this tendency to think of improvisation as some kind of magical gift that only a few brilliant people have. But in jazz, it's so much less about individual genius and way more about a deep, responsive connection with other people. This really just pulls the curtain back on the whole process. Improvisation isn't something you pull out of thin air. It's a collaborative dialogue. It's that quick glance between the pianist and the drummer. It's about truly listening to what the other person is playing, and then responding, not with what you planned, but with what the moment demands.
And this brings us to a really crucial point. If you're just responding in the moment, what happens when things don't go according to plan? What happens when you hit a wrong note?
Well, when a jazz musician plays an unexpected note, something pretty amazing happens. They don't stop, they don't apologize. A lot of the time, they'll just smile, lean into it, and use that very note as the starting point for a whole new musical idea. This lets us completely redefine what a mistake actually means. It's not an endpoint, it's not a failure, it's a pivot. It's like an unexpected doorway to a room you never even planned to enter. And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of the jazz mindset. Imperfection isn't something to be feared or avoided, it's the source, the very wellspring of creativity and surprise. The most beautiful melodies are so often born from these little happy accidents.
So here you can really see the two paths we can take. On one side, there's the fear of failure. That keeps us rigid, afraid of risks, always chasing this impossible idea of perfection. But then there's the other path, the courage to be imperfect. And that lets us be flexible, embrace spontaneity, and seek something much more powerful, honesty. And this mindset, this whole idea of embracing imperfection, is what allows musicians, and by extension all of us, to let go of the past and the future, and just fully show up for the present. You've seen this happen on stage. A musician closes their eyes, they're just lost in the sound. They're not overanalyzing the next chord progression or beating themselves up over a note they played a minute ago. They are simply present, feeling the music as it happens, and trusting the process. So how do we bring this mindset off the stage and into our lives? Well, the improviser's philosophy gives us three pretty simple rules. 1. Listen more than you act. Just pay attention to the reality of the situation before you jump in. 2. Respond to what is actually happening, not what you planned for. And finally, number 3. Trust the process, not the plan. Just have faith that the unfolding moment will guide you.
Okay, let's pull back from the stage and make this metaphor really explicit. Because this entire philosophy, it's a powerful guide for how we live.
I mean, think about it. A symphony is perfectly scored. Every single note is planned in advance. But life isn't like that, is it? There's no script for our conversations, our careers, our relationships. We are all improvising every single day.
And this is the ultimate takeaway. Your life is an improvisation. Those moments that you think of as mistakes, they're not failures. They are the unique, unexpected notes that create your personal melody. The goal isn't to live a perfect, error-free life. The goal is to be present for the one you have. So, just play.
At the end of a jazz performance, when the crowd leaps to its feet, it's not because every single note was technically perfect. They're applauding the energy, the connection, the raw human honesty of the performance. They're applauding the sheer courage it took to create something real right there in front of them.
This is such a release from the pressure of perfection. It's an invitation to just engage fully with the here and now. It's asking for your authentic self, flaws and all, to simply show up for the moment you're in. So as the stage empties and the lights begin to dim, that's the question we're left with. Knowing that there's no perfect script, and knowing that your wrong notes can lead to beautiful places, what melody will you have the courage to play today?